Hey guys, wanted to do a quick video on a review on CGC. Canopy growth was moving this morning into this afternoon. Actually, let's see where it started. We'll dive into this chart. We'll see exactly when the volume kicked in, why the volume's here, if there's any news, and we'll see what we have for our game plan tomorrow on CGC. So CGC, it looks like, looking at this with our indicators, we have volume, and that's our white candle. So if we're going to see that volume that we typically want to see in the regular market session, then with our indicators, it's going to spot that as white candles. And if it's lower volume, we'll see these yellow candles like we're seeing here in the aftermarket. And if it's really low volume, you'll see green and red candles, which is something we really don't want to see. We want to stick to where the volume is as day traders. So CGC here, if I zoom out and zoom in down here, you'll see this is really where it got started. You can see that it just spiked in volume. So it went from hovering over this candle here. It was 7,000 shares. You can see the volume up top. Hover over that candle, 7,000 shares to all of a sudden 651,000 shares. That's incredible, right? What a jump in price action. So really nice spike here. And from there, we started to tap into resistance levels. Close above, hold, and continue, and just make new highs. Now, there is some concerns here with CGC, but let's first dive into the news on CGC. So let's go ahead and let's see. We'll click on this, and we'll go to, let's see right here. Here's some news articles just in TradingView on CGC. And you can see that jumps on report that the DEA is to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Well, I'd like to say about time, right? Because we all know that this is not classified, it's not correctly classified, I guess you can say. So it's nice that that is being brought up and in the market's eyes right now. And so you can see CGC loved that news, absolutely loved that news. So it's a number of stocks that are moving on that news, but it seems like CGC was really leading the race. So again, went from 7,000 shares to 651,000 shares on that news today. That's huge. Once we started to gap up, the concerns that I have here is going to be that float size. So large float size being listed here on the confirmation strategy checklist, 64 million share float. And if I pull over our scans, which right now I'm not seeing CGC on the scans, but on our trade idea scanners, we're going to see that this one is actually listed, I think, closer to like 90 million share float. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong there, but I think that trade ideas was showing this around 90 million share float. And we can see that it is a large float here on TradingView, and this is the confirmation indicator that I have here. So you guys can copy that if you'd like. This is at BullishBobLive.com, and you can get access to all of these indicators. That will automatically plot the support and resistance as well as give us these dynamic pivot zones. So the concerns here are the float size. The float is a little higher than we prefer, but it's not out of whack. It's still considered a low float stock. So anything considered or anything under 150 million share float is what I consider to be low float. Now I prefer, let me make that clear. I prefer to trade stocks under 25 million share float. And this is not under 25 million share float. So for me, immediately that's just a quick red flag. Nothing crazy. Doesn't mean it's not going to continue to go up. What it means is that if I'm typically trading, 5,000 shares, maybe I want to minimize that because of what I'm seeing here. That is, again, a red flag, right? So, okay, so we know that it's got a larger float, so we're expecting a little bit of choppy price action. And so what I like to do is combine our support and resistance with confirmation with our pivot zones and that dynamic. So you'll see that the indicators that I have here is the dynamic price signals, the volume, major red and vertical trend spotter, and then our support and resistance through confirmation. So very, very important for me. So the idea here is every time we close over one of these levels, it then needs to hold that level. So if you were watching CGC earlier in the day, that level would have been right here at $9.10, right? $9.10, $9.27, $9.60. Okay, if we zoom in and you were trading at that time, which I was not. Around 1 o'clock, I was done. We had a really nice pre-market session. We had a lot of base hits, but they added up, and we just decided to shut it down and not give back that profit. But if you were trading after 1 o'clock, you can see 1:05 p.m. is when this spike happened. We had a bullish vertical trend, which is a red flag to our strategy. So if we're taking this trade, we just want to be careful. And that's what this indicator here is actually spotting and letting you know. That right here, as we start to curl up, it says price enters an extended zone. Start to secure profit. And if you're not in the position, well, maybe you should consider adjusting due to the conditions shown. Okay, so in other words, take a smaller size, right? It's got low volume, it's spiking up, yes, but it's not really that trustworthy yet to throw the kitchen sink at. Well, guess what? That lotto there turned out to be a really nice trade. And these come in pairs. So you can see we have this signal and this signal. This signal is the final of the two. And this one says, so this one said it was starting to extend, right? To start to secure profit. Look up here, and this one says the price has entered the extended zone, or excuse me, exits the extended zone, and this is our sell signal. Okay, so time to sell. And it says, watch for a close over this pivot zone for possible continuation. So in other words, what we're saying here is it plots this pivot zone, and what we're looking for is the price to get above and stay above, right? So this one got above and did not stay above, fell back down. We can see the white candles, a lot of volume, love it, love it, love it, but we did not hold above that zone, and we did have this predetermined resistance right here. So using the confirmation strategy support and resistance in conjunction with our pivot signals, you can see the indicators here, this is going to give us a clear indication of, hey, this is the area we want to get in, and this is the area we want to have our stop loss or our contingent plan, right? And as we close above, with this candle here, closed above, held, and guess what? We're off to the races. Now we're hitting new highs, and this was a really nice gap right here. If anyone took that trade, you're looking at roughly about 7%, realistically maybe 5%, but it was a lot of volume. So you can trade a lot of shares comfortably without thinking, oh man, I might get caught with slippage or one of those random knives, something like that. Now we are expecting that choppy price action, and if I double click on this indicator here and turn on our keynotes, and I will turn this on to, right now it's on huge, so you guys can see that pretty easy. And you can change this to normal, or typically I'd have it on normal if it was just for myself. But for demonstration purposes, we'll keep it on huge. All right, so we can see easily what this means. It says, watch for continuation, price above recent resistance levels. Look for past resistance to hold as new support. Close above resistance is bullish. Close under is bearish. And you can use the 3 dots next to each one of these indicators to set alerts, which is really handy and helpful. So that is just a quick, just key notes for us to understand. You can turn that on, turn it off. It's up to you. And as we close over our pivot zone, as we close over this predetermined resistance level, it needs to hold, right? That's going to then form our new support. Well, it did. Closed above, held. And if you got in at this level, or if you got in at this level, right? Those were the two first pops. So if you're trading around that time, if you got in around this pivot zone, you know, this is a huge move. That's 32% there, and that's not even the top of the move. The top of this move, right, from this pivot zone that we're talking about is all the way up here around 56%. $5.50 per share, right? Per share, guys. That's a lot of percentage gain there on this move on CGC following that news this morning. So it had news, it had a pop, it had volume, and it had a close over our key levels. So this is really just a recipe for success, right? But knowing that we have this large flow in red flag, okay, we just make adjustments. We trade smaller size and maybe sell into profit where we see fit, and then we hold a lotto, right? You could hold yourself a lotto, which means after you sell the bulk of your position, you get, 10, 20, 30 cents per share. That's a nice gain, right? Per share on these type of moves for low float stocks. So lock in the profit and sell out 50%, 75%, or maybe even 90% of your position in here, and then hold the rest for continuation. And sure enough, this is that gravy on the biscuits, guys. We're looking for that big move, right? This is that big move. So if you held your lotto here instead of selling the whole thing, of course, the nice full scalp is great. But if you could hold the lotto here, well, guess what? You extended your gains even farther. So maybe you missed this opportunity over here, right? So let's zoom in on that. Maybe you missed out on this pivot zone close over. Okay, well, we know that we have predetermined resistance levels at 1070 and 1085. So a close over the 1085 is what we're looking for confirmation and continuation. That's this white line right here. If I zoom in and look at this white line, you'll see that we closed over on this candle. Let me turn this off real quick. We'll turn off the volume just to make it easier to see. We closed over on this this candle right here. This is the candle. Now, we had a bullish vertical trend, and you can see that our indicator is spotting that for you and saying, hey, sure, this is a close over that key level, but this is dangerous, right? This is another one of those red flags. And so being a day trader and mitigating risk and losses, we want to make sure that we're not taking or overextending ourselves and taking more risk than we need to. So yes, this is a close over. Yes, this is confirmation. Is it a high quality confirmation? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. So we're looking for a high quality setup, and this isn't really that, but this is could merit maybe a smaller lotto type of trade or something like that. That's fine, but we don't want to trade or over trade in this type of scenario and situation. And sure enough, the next candle pulls back. Now, this is only a 2% negative pullback, so it's not crazy, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green bars in a row, so it's hard to expect that continuation, right? And that's what our indicator is looking for. There you go. It's letting you know, hey, it's a bullish vertical trend, red flag, and do with that what you will, right? Closed over the level here. If I turn this back off, here's our candle that closed over. Yes, we have the volume, 500,000 shares of volume. So if I'm trading 5,000 shares, or I'm looking for a 5,000 share order or 2,500 share order, you know, it should have no issue getting filled on a 500,000 share 1 minute candle, right? A lot of volume, and that's what we're looking for. Well, we then pulled back, we held that level. We can average down as long as we stay above that level, that line of level, right? Hold the door, and it did hold that door. And if I zoom out here, you can see that that level was 1085, right here, 1085 right there, right? Came up, hit our target, and that's beautiful. And so that's a predetermined area to start taking profit. So of course we would be taking profit in here, locking in those gains. And then again, you could hold a lotto in case you feel there's continuation. So if you got on this candle, you'd have to bear this downtrend here before you continued. Or there's another approach to it. You could wait for another confirmation. Well, right here, we had that confirmation, closed above that level, turned the spotter on. Oh, we had the volume, so it was good to go. It was a good little setup here. And sure enough, closed above. Next candle hit the target. There you go. Pulled back, closed above again. Boop, 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 boop. Held, never closed back below, and continued. Now we're starting to plot these pivot zones, right? So we're starting to plot these pivot zones. What we want to see is the same idea with the pivot zone. This is using dynamic price signals. This is another indicator that we have offered at BullishBobLive.com. And this is going to predetermine where these pivot zones are. So as this price action is happening, it's going to then predetermine, okay, this is that zone. If we close above that zone, you can see that is one of the rules here. So if you hover over this X, again, you'll see price exits the extended zone. This is our sell signal. Secure profit and watch for a close over this pivot zone for possible continuation. Okay, so we closed above, close back below. Okay, we get back out, close above, get back in, and look, now we're off to the races again. You're getting yourself another great trade, and this is using our dynamic support and resistance in conjunction with our confirmation support and resistance. We know we had volume. Turn this back on. White candles. We have plenty of volume. So we love that. The only things that we are concerned with is going to be that float size. And then, of course, we're going to be concerned with if we see a bullish vertical trend or if we see that it's the price is extended, we may want to secure profit and wait for the close over the zone before getting back in. So looking at these zones, guys, this zone right here, it closed above. There's a fail, closed above, and there you go. Nice move. Now, all of a sudden, we're looking at this. Did not close above. False break. There's our close above. Get in. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Okay, here's our next pivot zone. This is our exit signal. Close above that pivot zone. Okay, no close, no close, no close. There it is. Closed over. Held. Boom, 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 boom. Predetermined level. Closed above. Failed. And now it has to close over 1510 for continuation. So, guys, if you're watching ticker CGC tomorrow and you're watching this evening, which is actually moving right now, it's 4:21 p.m. and very rightfully so, almost 4:20 that we're talking about CGC, guys. It's going higher, right? And if you like those jokes, we've got plenty more in the Discord. So come on over. I'm live trading every day, Monday through Friday, and in our pre-market session, going over these trades live before I ever take the trade. You guys know where the trade idea is, where I'm looking to take that trade. So, guys, if you're watching CGC for tomorrow's price action, or even in this evening's price action, we're looking for a close over 1510 to then hold that level. And we're looking at 1550 as a $0.50 test, then 1560. If I zoom in here, you guys will see 1510 is the key level. Close above, that's when we can consider this bullish. That's when CGC is basically speaking to us and saying, hey, it's time to trade me because I'm in bullish momentum zone. But if I am below 1510, guys, don't trust me. Don't worry about me until I get over 1510. So CGC for tomorrow and this evening, Close over 1510, awesome. Close over 1568, awesome. That's what we want to see. Every time we close over a level, we want to hold that level. We are expecting choppy price action due to the float size. So this is how you break down a chart like CGC with a lot of volume today. I think the, I'm not sure what the overall volume was today. I guess I could click on this and find out, couldn't I? So let's see. Get rid of the news. And the overall volume today was 80 million shares traded. That is awesome. Average volume for 30 days, 23 million. We've got 80 million shares traded today. It's obviously in favor, guys. So CGC should be on your watch list tomorrow. If you found any value in this video, thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.